Hi everyone, so what we have here now is an alligation problem. Now an alligation problem is a problem that allows us to mix two ingredients of the same form, for example, two creams of two different strengths. So one of the creams has to be in a higher strength than the other, and then we're going to make a cream that is in a desired amount that should fall in the strength between the high and the low. Okay, that is decided by the doctor. So this is an alligation problem. So this is exactly what we're going to do here. Alligation. Okay. Now, two things to keep in mind for this particular problem. So one of the things we have to keep in mind is the following. The first thing is that our strength is not given to us as a percent strength. It is given to us as a ratio. Same thing here. The other thing is this quantity is given to us as a liter. Now we need to convert that to milliliters. So the first thing we need to do is change that percent or that ratio into a percent. So we have 1 or 100, which is the same as 1 to 100. 1 divided by 100 is simply 0.01. Now, because we need to convert this to percent, now remember percent means per 100, we need to multiply this by 100, and this gives us 1%. Now, the other one is 1 over 25. 1 over 25 is equal to 0.04. Again, because we're multiplying times 100 to give us the percent, this will now equal to 4%. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, we have to mix two products to make a third one. So the product we're going to make is this one, the soaking solution at this strength and at this quantity. And what am I mixing? Well, I'm mixing 1 to 25 or 4% now of the stock solution, which is the stronger one, and I am mixing water. One thing to keep in mind is it doesn't give us the strength of the water, but because water is considered a neutral product, it is a 0% strength. So water is 0% strength. What do I need to do now? Well, I usually use these side notes to help us organize the problem. So we have the high strength. So the high strength will be here in this problem, the high strength will be 4%. 4%. What is the low strength? Well, the low strength of the product I'm mixing is the water. And because water is neutral, it has a percent strength of 0%. What is the desired strength? The desired strength is what the doctor wants him to make, which we just decided that's a 1%. And notice that the desired strength falls in between. It falls in between 4 and 0. So that is correct. And then our desired quantity, 1 liter, which is in other words 1,000 milliliters. So let's make that 1,000 milliliters. 1,000 mLs. Excellent. Now, this tic-tac-toe box is used because in the tic-tac-toe box, we are using it as a guide. You don't have to use it. It's called the alligation grid. Many people call it tic-tac-toe box because that's what it looks like, but it's an alligation grid. The alligation grid, now, we're going to put our high strength up here, which is 4%. Okay? We're going to put our low strength, which is 0% of the water, down here. And then we're going to put our 1% of our desired strength over here. Now what we're going to do next here is subtract diagonally. We need to subtract 0 from 1. Now our answer is actually -1, but we're going to take the absolute value of -1, which is just simply 1%. Or not, correction, 1 part. Not percent, but part. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. This is a part. So we're taking 1 part of the 4% and we're taking 3 parts of the water. Now we add these 2 parts and we have a total of 4 parts. Great. Now we know the parts. What needs to be done next is we need to take the parts and the quantity and multiply it. So we're going to take one out of the total 4 parts of the 4%, multiply this times 1000 mLs. Okay. And this is going to give us the amount of the 4% that I need to mix. And then I'm also going to take 3 out of the 4 parts of the water. So 3 out of 4 divided by, multiply times 1000. And this will give me the quantity for the water. Now let's just take that multiplication. Very simple calculation that needs to be done here. Let's take our calculator. Here we go. So now we have 1 divided by 4 is equal to 0.25 times 1000 mLs. And this is going to give us 250 mLs of the 4%. And then 3/4 or 0.75. So 3 divided by 4 is equal to 0.75. And this we're going to multiply times 1000. And this is going to give me 750. 750 mLs of water. And if we add the 250 plus the 750, it is equal to 1000 total, which is my desired quantity. And that is how we solved an alligation problem.